Welcome from the Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Livestock Systems. This brief video will provide an introduction to a new manual developed by the Human and Institutional Capacity Development cross-cutting theme. This manual is focused on qualitative research methods for livestock systems research. So why did we develop this manual? The HICD team conducted gap analyses in our 6 partner countries to determine the human capacity development needs, such as needs for training, the institutional or organizational capacity development needs, such as internal policies, procedures, and processes, and the enabling environment, such as national policies, funding, culture, and norms. In our gap analyses, we found several consistent themes, one of which is that many of our livestock lab partners are conducting social science research. Social research is often conducted due to funding constraints, which limit access to animals, farms, and laboratories. Social research is also used by our partners to understand farmer, livestock owner, and community needs, adoption of innovations, social and gender dynamics of livestock caregiving, and more. However, there is often a lack of teaching faculty and researchers who specialize in qualitative research, which has research design, hypotheses, data collection methods, and analysis methods that differ substantially from quantitative and laboratory research. This can lead to the replication of errors, incorrect assumptions, bias, and ultimately unusable data. As a response to this gap, the HICD team has developed a 2-week intensive qualitative research methods course to fill the gap in the basics of qualitative research design, methods, and analysis. This course is equivalent to a full semester graduate level class. However, it is built in modules so that it can be modified per the time and needs of the participants. It is also built to respond to the unique needs of livestock researchers, including exercises and examples that are relevant to those who will conduct qualitative research within a livestock system. The manual for the course includes all of the materials needed for teaching the course, including agendas, lecture notes, activities, assignments, and a fully developed syllabus. So, what is covered in this manual? The detailed, measurable learning objectives are clearly outlined in the manual and are linked to all activities. This includes a module on the differences between quantitative and qualitative research, how theory differs in qualitative research, and why it must be directly integrated into the research process, qualitative research designs, research questions, and sampling, how to conduct qualitative data collection activities, including focus groups, interviews, surveys, and participatory methods, how to analyze and interpret qualitative data, and ethical considerations in qualitative research. The manual features a planning at a glance table, which will allow the user to easily see the objectives of the manual, each individual module, and each activity, a description of the activity, what kind of activity it is, such as lecture, a group activity, a class project, and more, how much time each lecture or practice activity will require, and the reference materials. Detailed daily agendas for each day of the 2-week course are provided, including the daily objectives, the materials required, instructions for how the instructor should prepare, a step-by-step explanation of the process for each activity, and suggestions for discussion after each practice activity or lecture. All materials are provided in the manual, including any needed worksheets, guides, and handouts. Lecture materials are provided for each module, which directly match each specific activity. They are presented as flipchart designs to account for potential electricity failure in our partner countries. They can also be easily modified into PowerPoint slides. Notes are provided for each flipchart or slide, as well as suggested graphics. The activities in the manual are all participatory. This includes discussion, case studies, role plays and fish bowls, writing activities, drawing and mapping activities, and research practice. Finally, the manual provides evaluation activities for the course. This includes simple knowledge checks to determine how the participants are grasping the course materials, a suggested class research project to determine mastery of the objectives, and of course, a template for the participants to evaluate the efficacy of the training. This and other manuals are available at the Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Livestock Systems website at livestocklab.ifas.ufl.edu.